All right. So we gonna start in 2 minutes, and yeah, we're excited to talk about how to build visual AI at scale. And yeah, I'm with Bria today, and we're gonna start a couple minutes. But Jill, if you wanna introduce yourself, and because this is gonna be recorded, so while people are getting into the live stream, I think you can just chit chat
Yeah,
for a bit.
we could definitely chit chat. My name is Gil Scheffler. I do partnerships at Bria. I support England, as you could tell. However, England are playing right now as we speak. I should be watching them, but instead, the love of AI has separated me from the glory of England. And so we will be talking. We're using Rowan. We're using the World Cup as a theme here, right? Like kind of like how you can play with the. Oh, okay, yes, you definitely support a better team. By the way, Rowan, maybe for people who don't know, tell them about a bit where you're from and why you support Brazil.
Yeah, I'm from Brazil, and yeah, I'm biased enough to support Brazil. Luckily, we just won 2-1 to Japan this week. It was a very tough game. I think pretty much in the last minute, we score a goal, and then yeah, we stay on the game. So yeah, I was very excited for us to keep moving that. For Brazil, it's very important for us to have this. To have this to have this title for sure. Let's see how it's gonna be. I'm excited. I think we have a good team, and yeah, yeah. And then if people don't know me, I'm Rowan. I'm developer relations here at GMI Cloud.
Fantastic, and the
So
master of
England's
ceremonies
playing right
there.
now.
Yep. England is playing right now. We have a good team, though never as good as Brazil, and also we are notorious for underperforming or maybe over promising and then underperforming at the same time. The beauty, by the way, we're going to get into this stuff in a bit, but the beauty of AI, you can even make England win with an AI workflow or pipeline that we'll be digging into today. So
Okay, let
stay
me
tuned.
give me 1 second. I will share with the I'm sharing with the or YouTube channel or live stream right now.
Okay, I'll be following the score as well.
Three.
If anyone on this live stream really cares about England, I have a little sidebar that shows me it's still 0-0. 1 minute in, so it's coming home.
Cool. Cool. Okay. So I think after this live stream, we still have some time um, for you to watch the game, finalize the game for sure.
It'll
Uh,
be 5-0 to England by then, so there won't be any points. But yes,
okay. So I just share with everyone the link right now for the live stream, and okay. Do I need to hit them after? Um, yeah, I sent. Okay, so let's get started. So, for people that just joined right now, I'm Rowan. I'm developer relations at GMI Cloud. We're gonna be talking about very interesting stuff related to how we can create production of multimedia at scale. And I'm here with Joe from Bria, and he's from partnerships, and we're gonna be talking about things that they have been building, use cases, and how you can better utilize Bria models and how we can enhance your creative workflow at scale. So, Joe,
absolutely.
thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so proud to be a partner of GMI. Just like you said, my name's Gil. I do partnerships at Bria. We are a image and video model provider that differentiates itself in three main ways. We are compliant, which means we train all our models exclusively on legally sourced content. We are the most controllable model provider. We have a family of models that give you precise editing capabilities, like image background removal, upscale, so that you weave those, you melt them into your pipeline. And we're the most flexible. We're open weights. You can build on us. You can deploy anywhere you want with us. We've raised $65 million. We work with some of the biggest enterprises in the world, but also with individual creators. And again, I'm really proud and happy to be part of the GMI community.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm very excited. Just the fact that we have been working together closely on those projects, I have been learning a lot. And me coming from the video production background and software background, which are my both passions are, I can see the benefits on using Bria. And I generally think there's a lot of things that on the general, I would say on the regular video production in AI business we miss, such as compliance, such as scalability. I think Bria, honestly, that's my honest takeaway. I can see the real uses of this on clients, on the if you have video production company, if you're a creator, and once you have those layers of protect yourself, because the laws are changing constantly, so we need to make sure we are protecting ourselves as the creators, as the agency. At the same time, I really like the way the scalability, and we're going to discuss some of the things about this today, which I think again it's very important if you're on the edge between multimodal and
Mhm.
technology software. So if you're able to combine both, you can create amazing things. Amazing things. So those are things I want to be. I'm super excited to first to discuss about. Just a quick agenda. So we have our workflow here, and we I'm going to show this workflow today, and we're going to play around with other nodes, and then Gil gonna talk some. We're gonna discuss about some of the uh, different nodes, different possibilities we can have, and then we'll have a very interesting use case that from Bria team that they're gonna be sharing today. So. And then they're going to open for Q&A. So again, I always say this on our live streams, please ask questions. This is your time to connect with people that are building those structures. So we're super. We want you to collaborate. I want you to have your questions answered, and I'm super excited to have everyone on this live stream here today. Yep.
And I want to make a quick shout out, by the way, if I may, Rowan. I think what, from my perspective, we have a double header today. Okay, to use the football soccer parlance. We are first, if you are in the media business, if you are a studio, if you're a publisher, if you're a creator, the first part of our conversation, I think, is going to apply to you. So if you're one of the millions of people who have joined this live stream right now, we have millions, right, Rowan?
Yeah.
At least. Okay.
Millions, and not
Stay
billions,
tuned.
no millions.
Right, that's what I said. So stay tuned for the first half. I think that applies directly to you. The second half, after hydration break, the second half is going to be more about CPG retail, yeah, e-commerce, ad creation. So if you are in the agency space, if you have a product, a physical product, you're looking to use AI to better tell your story. Or if you're an individual, a developer, you're building those for those companies. Stay tuned for that one. I think there's some education, and we're going to try and make it entertaining for both halves throughout the conversation. But that's kind of the lay of the land, the scope of what we're going to be showing today.
Cool. All right. So let's get started. Let's go to the pipeline. What people are always most excited about.
Yeah.
Um, so this is the pipeline that we created for this webinar. We have this pipeline available on the community, and I will show you how it works. But I just want to give one step backwards for people that don't know what is GMI Studio. So GMI Studio, it is this no-code tool that you can pull different type of models, different type of inputs, outputs, and generate amazing images, audio, or videos. So we can create your entire pipeline flow. So this is designed based on the open source framework, and we put this open source framework inside GMI Studio. And this GMI Studio pull all the models. So pretty much with your own API key, you have access to all those models, and you can run this you can run this by you can run this by yourself, or if you work with teams, you can also integrate that with different teams. So I just want to give you a quick background. This is available at console.gmicloud.ai, and if you're watching this live and you want to test it out, I can give some credit. So right after this you can test it out. And also we are creating a video on how to create this pipeline, because this pipeline is already created. So we have a couple videos that are going to be launching between today and tomorrow about how you can create this pipeline end to end. Because today, for the sake of time, I'm going to just be displaying this pipeline here and explaining some of the concepts here. So inside console.gmicloud.ai, if you come here to gallery, you can access all our gallery. And I created a new workflow, and that's my anime World Cup fan cam. So I just want to show you overall, and then Jill and I want to discuss about those models here in more details. So pretty much on the load image here, I put the image of myself as a selfie, and then on the Bria Fibo edit, I told it to for position me inside stadium with the Brazilian jersey. And with this Bria Fibo restyle, I can select what kind of style that I want. If you want a vector art, if you want a retro ad, if you want a cartoon. Here, I select anime because this is the concept of this pipeline here. And I'm using Cdance 2.0, and I selecting the image to the first frame. And from this, I generated this very interesting video.
Fantastic. You're clearly happy.
I can share this on my LinkedIn or my Instagram or my X. I go instead of just go. I can just put this image. This is for my personal use. I think that's something fun. There's multiple ways you can go in depth. This I just want to show something that I'm proud of to be sharing this, and I already shared. So. Yeah, so
I
those are the
so
two nodes from Bria, and I would like to know from you, Joe. Can you tell me what those two nodes does here on this pipeline?
I want to. So you showed the how, and I want to share the why. You can
Ooh.
create this pipeline, this workflow with many different models. Each does something slightly different, and many of them are, I mean, all of them, frankly, are incredible. Like we have this technology today available at the price that it does, and the quality that it provides is fantastic. There are a couple of things that Bria provides that nobody else does. So, like I said before, we are the most compliant image and video model vendor out there. All our content, all our models are trained exclusively on legally sourced content. You need billions of images to train a model so that it knows what a soccer player looks like, or that it knows what the Brazil colors are. To do that, a lot of companies just take what they can from the web. We pay data providers like Getty, like Shutterstock, and dozens of others to have access to their content so that the creators of those images get money based on usage. It's also recurring revenue. The more Brazil images are created, the more people who took snap photos of those Brazil images are paid. When you create, Rowan, that wonderful muscular image of you, okay, we know, see how precise it is? We can tell, we quantify and qualify what images went into creating the synthetic one. In other words, I know which images went in and how much of each. It's an attribution engine. And so you get a birth certificate, if you will, what went into that. You can't create Messi or Ronaldo because our models have never seen or been trained on Messi or Ronaldo. But that is actually the advantage, because if Messi were to say, "Hey, Rowan, this just went viral, okay, and it looks suspiciously like Messi. I know that you're from Brazil and he's from Argentina, but let's go back to Neymar, okay." Um, so you have proof that no images were used illegally. Your IP, if you have IP, not just an image, maybe you're a publisher with a lot of books around soccer, football, or something completely different. You have proof that your IP is isolated, is pristine, is pure, and you cannot be sued like maybe some other vendors you might be. So,
I have
so
a
that's
question.
the why. You showed the how, and I wanted to share the why.
I have a question for this. So for example, we have a lot of debate on the community. People saying the people discussing about exactly the same point you were saying. Um, so we as creators that are creating content, I would say for stock footage, and then you have those training models just watching, I would say, scraping the web and getting this information. So in case that I have my footage that I have like hours of footage selling on some of the, for example, Git image or Shutterstock, and then I have all these hours of content there. So somehow I still getting compensating for this work. Me as I would say a producer. So we are closing the cycle here. So we're not just producing and then there's a AI consuming that content and a training model consuming that content for free. I'm still getting compensated, me as a creator.
Yeah, yeah. So the idea is for creators to be compensated based on the usage of their work. By the way, we work also directly with artists, visual artists, video artists, what have you, to train models based on their content, so that every generation they get compensation specific to their look and feel. Because there's like, say, a Banksy. You know what Banksy kind of his graffiti kind of looks like. If you have some other artists with like Picasso or alive, I guess, well, he's actually tricky because he has several very distinct looks. But just the blue period, perhaps you get okay, blue period. By the way, can't work with Picasso. He's unfortunately passed away. But the point is, yes, we work with living artists so that they get compensation for their work if they were to train a model with Bria. That's beside this. So I actually went a bit to the, strayed away from this pipeline, but I want to revisit it for a second before we move on to the next, because what we've done here, if you have an existing uh, book of content, so imagine it, even if it's you have a publisher with hundreds of books that have never been made into a series. Now, once upon a time, you had to go and pitch in hundreds of books. Which one's going to make it? Which one isn't? Which one is the J.K. Rowling Harry Potter that blows everybody's minds, and which one is very similar but not quite close enough? You can tap into AI to turn all of them into narratives, stories that can interest a potential publisher or network. And so that is for the if you're a publisher or a studio on the call today, or just an individual who thinks they might be the next J.K. Rowling and looking to use AI to tell their story. Bria would be the most compliant, that adheres to EU AI Act, most compliant model vendor out there.
Okay, no, that's very interesting. Um, for the Okay, thanks for sharing that. That's one point that I have a podcast and talk with the creators about this, and this point comes like on every conversation. So thanks for addressing that. And now, do you want to talk about the scalability?
Discoverability.
Scalability.
Scalability, sure.
Scalability.
I
Yeah.
I mean, sure. The economies of creating this pipeline are clearly cheaper than they ever were before. So if you do have that IP, you can bring it to life and animate it. Bria would be your foundation, and then a CDance, an LTX, a VO, that might be your image to video model to go to. You build the pipeline. You build the pipeline, and you see what fits best for you. But that would definitely increase like visibility in terms of if you create scale content on scale, more people can potentially see it. But I would like to move on to maybe the second half, or we can talk about it. By the way, I have no problem talking about it. The second part of the conversation around ad generation.
Yeah, let me share this. So this is one of the pipelines that we have available on the on our on GMI Studio. So where we put a boot there, and then we're able to generate different scenes out of that. And so the what is interesting here, we get one boot, and then we are able to place this boot in different locations, different placements. I will I will share here what the pipeline, how the pipeline looks like. So pretty much it's going to look like something like this, the pipeline. So the pipeline where we have a boot here, and then we're able to place this boot in different scenes. So we're enter the Bria edit here and placing this into other locations, and we transform this into videos, and then we're able to put those videos together and have a result very close to this one here. But there's one step that we just added this. So on our discussions between you and I from the last few days, we discovered that we didn't have one model. That's one which one is very important, which for when we talk about scalability, which is the model for image background removal, which I believe it is super important. In this case here, the image already have no background, so that's why I already used this pipeline to show. But I think it's very important for this image background removal for when we talk about the scalability. In my perspective, if you have e-commerce and you have thousands of images, and how and you want to scale this process, you're not going to do this manually in the age of AI. So Gil, how people have been using this one step before this one here, how people have been using the model, the not the model, the node or the function for image background removal.
Absolutely. So it's extremely useful, and we're now in the control part of the conversation. The last half was compliance. Now we're in control. Last part was media. Now we're in ad generation, CPG, retail. To get the sexy result of the football/soccer player out there running in a video, you need to build a very precise and controlled pipeline. It's not just to get a better result, it's to get a cheaper result. Because if you can blow tokens till tomorrow, you can get as good a result, if not better, if you build a precise and controllable pipeline. That's what Bria provides, actually. And this image here that we have here might not look as sexy as the end result, but it's not supposed to. What we're doing here is we're taking, imagine you are CPG, retail, anything, any company with a tangible product, and you might have an existing book of images for it, but some might have an old logo that you've moved away from. Some might be tainted. Some might have somebody's finger stuck in there, whatever. You want them all to be in the same starting point. Background removal, so that when you do generate that next step, whatever it is, you need an isolated and pristine product to start the journey that gets you towards the video. And if you think about it from going back, we're using the World Cup as a theme. By the way, I have sad news for everybody on this call. Legal, actually, it's for me. England is down 1-0. Okay, Democratic Republic of Congo scored in the 7th minute. You
Yeah.
might see a
Wow, that was fast. I didn't saw this coming.
Stay tuned. You might see, if for nothing else, you might see me melt down by the end of the call. If you want to see that, then don't go anywhere. Unless we come back like Brazil did with Japan, right,
Wow,
Rowan?
that was crazy in the last minute. Wow, impressive.
Okay, so there's still hope. But okay, let's go back to this fun e-commerce pipeline that we have here. We remove the background. It's kind of like, if you will, the goalie in a soccer football team, right? That's the first step. You need Messi up front, you need Ronaldo, but if nobody's going to be in goal, you're going to lose. So I see this as Bria as like being goalie and defensive midfield, because then you pass the ball up the field, and then you want something maybe upscale or image expansion. So you want to take what you've done, that first step in the first building block, and then you want to create iterations of it. So it fits in every dimension that you can think of online, whether it's basement in an ad or some other sidebar ad. You can do that and scale quickly using image expand. If the original image wasn't high enough resolution, use Bria upscale. We are also tend to be, you're often more affordable than some of the other options. And one thing I know for sure is, if you reach the phase of animation or turning image to video, and with a much more controlled and precise image, you're going to be saving money there. Because when you send that image to the animation side and the image isn't what you had in mind, you're going to be burning money, you're going to be burning tokens. So this is kind of like if you think about putting together a team or squad of models, because every pipeline like this has to have, by definition almost, multiple models to reach a result that a professional will want. Bria provides essential building blocks. Might not be the sexiest, but guess what? You need that strong goalie. You need this defensive midfield, and and then you get to the end result.
Go. Yeah. Yeah. So I like what you say about the control because uh, on this example that we're seeing here on the screen, uh, there's more possibilities that we have that goes beyond the background remover that we just discussed, the logo replacement. But now we can do resize for different ad replacements. So if you want to do this image into a stores for Instagram, if you want to do this for X one by one, if you want to do this for an YouTube ad or Facebook ad, which is going to be horizontal. So from here, you can have a control without losing the quality. You can have this control of different placements, so we can do ads for all those same product but different placements in a much faster and, like you say, on the cheapest way compared to foundation models. Is that correct?
100%. And it's sometimes funny, like how laser focused you need to be, and you can be, because sometimes you're not even aware. I'll share two new API endpoints coming to GMI from Bria soon. Not out yet, but they're on the way, and I think they're a great example. One is object extraction. So imagine you have a whole toolkit of stuff, and you just want to take out. Maybe you have a football kit, and you have a jersey, and you have a football, and you have the socks. So you just say, get me the socks. It knows what the socks is. It removes all the rest of the stuff. That's hugely important. We know it is because actually the biggest retailers in the world have told us so. We know that this is useful. And we're sharing capabilities with the community so that you can build similar pipelines. We have another API coming out, super, it's so useful and simple, but like that's the beauty of it. It's dimension. So we got the width and height of a product. I bought a football, or you know what? Here it is. Here's a great example, actually.
Ooh,
See this?
nice.
It's a Bria ball. Okay, it blows up. I'm not going to do that live because I might faint. But when I bought it, I have to admit, I didn't know how big it was. Like it's nice size, but I think if I had the dimensions, I would have realized, oh, it's not as big as I thought it was. We have an API that does that. If you have metadata attached to that image, it will automatically translate it into a height and width XY axis, and also you can potentially do it yourself. So it's that sort of stuff, Rowan. It's not, the competition for like the best image model, best video model. It's super important. Like we follow that every day, but sometimes you have to look, what are the models, what are the API endpoints to give you value? If you are
Right.
CPG retail that you're listening right now, because you need to fast forward to this part, it's stuff like that, and we have more coming. So stay tuned.
Great. No, thanks for sharing that. I have other tools here from our toolbox from Bria. I would like to go over with you the last few minutes before I open for questions, just for people to understand what is your takeaways or what is your most exciting nodes that you have here or the API calls if you're talking about the scalability, because that's one point that is very, very important for people. Like you said, the e-commerce and for the developers out there that want to use Bria tools to be able to scale their process. And so, if you can share the screen back, so then we can go over the possibilities that we have. Let me see here.
Mm,
Yeah, now we are. I'm sharing here the screen. Give me
mm.
1 second.
Oh, are we showing the little example?
Yes, right here. So,
Okay.
on GMI, on the GMI workflows here, we have the Bria. So here we have some, let me see if I can zoom in here. So it's going to be easy for everyone to see. So if I search for Bria, we have some the nodes from Bria available on the on a workflow pipeline. And this one that you have here, the remove background, is the one that just added yesterday night, so people can use it. So looking at those on those nodes, for you, Gil, which ones are the most important? Or I know for it varies for each use case, but which ones that you think is more the ones the better ones for each use case? Let's say.
Fair question. I'll give you a good, I think, the best answer. It does vary. If you are a publisher or a studio, you care deeply about the provenance of the content you train your model. For you, that's going to be a huge game changer. It's going to be the genesis of your AI journey. It's going to be the fort, the walls that protect you from getting into trouble down the line. So I think that the compliant part is important, and that would be image generation or image editing, Bria Fibo, Bria Edit, Fibo Edit.
Hmm.
If you are in the CPG retail space, you might care much more about, as I said, the specific building blocks from the new ones coming out, extract object and dimensions, the XY, going back to our best sellers that are image background removal. They are expansion, image expansion. They are erasure. So imagine you have an image, some sort of logo that's snuck in there that isn't yours. You need to remove it, or some person who photobombed your photo, and it's a shame because it's otherwise a really nice one. These are, as I said, they're the goalies. They're the defensive layer that will let you get to the result that you need. Unlike the 1-0 that England is now down against Congo. Okay, so that's what we do. Did I
Yeah.
answer your question?
Absolutely. So here, just for people that want to use the tool, is very easy. So pretty much, let me zoom out here. So you can load your image here. For example, I have this image and this is the background removal. And from here, I can just save this image, and then I run this pipeline here, and then I can remove the background for this image. And that's just one example. And then we can use the entire pipeline from here to whatever creation you want to do it. So that's goes to your use case, your goes to your creativity, how what direction you want to go. So I just want to go over and show this. Again, we're gonna create a video between today and tomorrow. We're gonna be posting on our social media, showing to people how they can create this pipeline end to end using Bria on the image part, and also we're gonna show how you can create this ad as well from scratch using the Bria nodes and then CDANs for the video generation. So stay tuned for the content I'm going to be producing and sharing. And now I want to show the this ad here that you guys created. Can you should we play and you want to
Let's
explain,
play.
or let's play?
Let's play, and I'll explain. Let's take the if there's music, let's take it off.
Yeah,
How
it
many
is out.
people do you know Lidl? I think it's one of my favorite supermarkets. I'm not joking. Beautiful German supermarket chain now has arrived big in the US, by the way. And they have wonderful branding, a wonderful logo. By the way, they're in that vein of the German supermarket chain, like Aldi and Trader Joe's. Yes, you won't believe Trader Joe's is a German concept. Never mind. The point that what they've done here is that they're using tapped into several different parts of the Bria pipeline behind the scenes to get this end result. They took an existing database or data set of products that they have or other kind of images. They removed the background. They trained the model based on their look and feel. They then generated it, and they let the public generate. This was something that Lidl did via an agency. They let the public generate their own products based on the imagery that Lidl has, and it won a couple of awards at Cannes, if I'm not mistaken. This is just showing the art of the possible. Okay, this is a very like professional, specific use case. You can take this in so many different directions. Certainly, by the way, being compliant with the EU AI Act helped here, among other things. But I think that we wanted to show the art of the possible, what you can achieve using Bria over the GMI platform. And this is a good example of that.
I love this example because first, you're able um, to involve the community, involve the people to create something very exciting. So they're able to make the public to generate some of the images. So I love this concept. And second, look how cool they're able to place their colors and the branding on those products. And I think that's such a good example uh, that exactly summarized everything that we discussed about here today. We discuss about the compliance, we discuss about the control, we discuss about the background removal, we discuss about the way that you can train your own data set, and then we go even beyond, like how we can make people be part of productions like this. And yeah, I love this example for us to close or talk regarding to this scalability on multimodal content. So yeah, I'm super excited for close this with this amazing use case that I have here. You go.
Thank you, Rowan. It's a great, thank you again for inviting me, and really a privilege to work with the GMI. And there's so much more coming. So, stay tuned. I don't know if we have any Q&A now, or we just say goodbye as I go to
Yeah.
cry into my pillow as England is still 1-0. What's the next step?
Let's see if there's a Q&A. Let me zoom here. Live stream. I'm just on the right side here. We have some comments here. Awesome.
I have
Good
a
to
question
use.
for I have a question for you, Rowan, and then I want to answer it myself if we don't have
Yeah.
any other.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just checking. I
What's
don't.
next? What's coming next? What do you see like a few months down the road? What's coming on the GMI side?
Yeah, we are onboarding for the GMI Studio. We are onboarding the latest models, and we're doing some product improvements because I have been using the tool uh, pretty much every week, and I have been giving a lot of feedbacks with the team and with the other creators as well. So people have been using the tool and give feedbacks how we can improve. So there is some. Right now, we're working on onboarding new models that are coming up soon. We're gonna onboard all the other latest Bria models that we have, and we're gonna talk. So fixing, I would say, user interface improvements, onboarding new models, and add new features that's coming up soon on the roadmap. And also, I think that the most important part right now is education. So
Mhm.
being able to talking to you right now to educate people, that's amazing. And we are doing web series, web tutorials on YouTube. So we're gonna teach other people how they can create their pipelines, how they can use the API endpoints, how they can uh, build processes like this at scale. So pretty much more is about education, because right now we have state of the art models. I think is and I think it's just a matter of people put the hands on and start to creating things. We're not replacing the video production or video editing. We are enhancing the people. We are cutting some costs that will be our time for some processes. So we are focused on this right now for the GMI Studio and for the multimodal part. And I have the same question for you.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, first of all, really exciting, and I'm looking forward to working with you. I see a world where we have more agentic workflows on multiple platforms. Both we feed and work into agentic workflows, and I imagine you guys are also kind of bringing that into the mix. What if you had this feed of structured data that then you can quickly manifest new pipelines? You have a pipeline that exists, so you modify it on a quick, how do you say, when you turn on a dime, okay, with a maybe a person in a human in the loop, but also just you iterate content all the time using these agentic workflows. I think that's the future we're working towards. I know that frankly, there are ways to achieve that now, but it's going to be more common and easy. And I think that's certainly a place where we can meet. Besides that, I said we have some amazing APIs that will really let you take apart, deconstruct and reconstruct all sorts of images. Can't go into stuff to right now, but I see a world where you can really take apart the pixels, the objects, weave them in a different way, iterate based on that. That's the direction we're going in, and all this will, yeah, to be revealed soon. So
I'm
it's an
excited.
exciting future.
I'm excited. Yeah. So, like I said, two things for us to close it out here. We gonna produce a couple of use case videos for you to create this pipeline that we saw it here end to end using the Bria model, so you can follow along. And if you're watching this video and you want some credits to test it out, reach out to me via Discord or LinkedIn. I'm there. Just send a message like, "Hey, I watch your webinar. I want some credits. I want to test out Bria function." So just reach out to me, and I can give you some credits. You can test it out, give your feedback, and hopefully you can integrate this into your workflow. Uh, Gil, thanks so much for you to come here and we discuss about this content.
It's an honor and a privilege, and I hope to be back soon again.
All right. See you guys on the next webinar. Thank you.